on the ideas in cell theory, which is that cells make up all living things and that living functions occur through cells. An additional thing of cell theory is that all cells come from pre-existing cells, meaning that they divide and form new cells. There are two main cell types. There's prokaryotic cells and eukaryotic cells. Prokaryotic cells covers unicellular life, which is bacteria. We differentiate bacteria in a variety of ways, one of which is its cell wall, which can be either gram-positive, meaning it's a thicker peptidoglycan cell wall, and when we stain it, it will turn purple, or gram-negative, which is a thinner peptidoglycan cell wall, and when we stain it, it will turn pink. Its shapes are cocci, bacillus, and spirilla. Cocci can be either a single coccus, a diplococci, a streptococci, which is a chain of these circular shapes, or a staphylococci, which is a cluster. Bacillus can be single, diplo, which is two, or strepto, which is a chain. Spirilla is going to be a spiral-shaped bacterial shape. That is it for bacteria. Eukaryotic cells are going to take our multicellular life. These are going to be your plant cells and your animal cells. The main thing that is going to function within eukaryotic cells is going to be the existence of a nucleus. A nucleus is the main organelle. Organelles are going to be what performs actual functions within a cell. The nucleus is where we store the DNA. It's considered the control center of the cell, and essentially where we're going to take DNA, transcribe it to RNA, and then translate it into a protein, which is going to accomplish every other function within the cell. Vacuoles are going to be what stores water and other materials such as salt and proteins. This is going to be much larger in plants. Lysosomes are the organelle that is going to break down excess of lipid, carbs, proteins, our macromolecules. Cytoskeleton is going to maintain structure just like our skeleton does and allow for movement. Cytoplasm is going to be the viscous material that fills up the cells. Ribosomes are going to be where we actually make proteins, and these are going to be found on the rough endoplasmic reticulum, in which case you can see the ribosomes on them, whereas smooth endoplasmic reticulum is going to detoxify materials and be distinct by its lack of ribosomes. Finally, we make energy with mitochondria. It's the powerhouse of the cell because it takes the chemical energy stored within carbohydrates and food and converts it into cellular energy or ATP. We additionally have cilia and flagella for movement. Cilia are smaller, more numerous, and flagella are much larger and normally only one at a time. There are two specific organelles to plant cells. This is the cell wall, which protects the outside of the cell the same way it does in bacteria, and a chloroplast, which essentially do photosynthesis on the cellular level. The cell membrane is an incredibly important organelle of every single cell because it forms a barrier between the inside and outside of the cell and controls what exits and enters. The cell membrane is made up of phospholipids, proteins, and carbohydrates. Phospholipids are going to have a hydrophilic head and a hydrophobic tail, and they're going to create a bilayer within that cell membrane. There are a few different types of transport that all revolve around this. Diffusion is the movement of molecules from high concentration to low concentration. This will go directly through the cell membrane. Facilitated diffusion is going to be the exact same process, going from high to low concentration, but through a protein channel. Osmosis is going to be the diffusion of water. This is going to move based off of tonicity. If it is isotonic, meaning the same solute concentration, it will move in and out equally. If the cell is hypertonic compared to the hypotonic surrounding solution, water will rush into the cell. And if the cell is hypotonic compared to the hypertonic surrounding solution, water will rush outside of the cell. None of those required energy, but active transport will require energy. In normal active transport, where we move against the concentration gradient, we use energy and we use a protein channel to go against the gradient. In endocytosis, we move materials in. Exocytosis, we move materials out in a bulk way. The final thing you need to know is that eukaryotic cells are capable from going from totipotent stem cells to pluripotent stem cells, and then they will differentiate into a variety of specialized cells such as heart, skin, and nerve cells. Essentially how this happens is cell differentiation will activate certain genes and change them into cells. So we go from cell to tissue to organ system, and that's how we comprise the human body of cells. And that's it for the test, hopefully. I got in the video. Cool.